Today you say we are immortal. Let us say we become moral. Won't our morals conflict?
Won't our morals?
Morals.
No.
Won't our morals conflict?
With the immorality of society?
Yes,
Yes, sir. I've got a question. You say our society is immoral. If, this questioner says, if I become moral, won't that create conflict between the moral person and the person who follows the morality of society? Is that right, sir?
Not necessarily the morals of society, the morals of oneself.
All right. So, what is morality? Can we approach it that way? What is morality? What does it mean to be moral? To follow a pattern laid down by the religious sanctions or convenience? What do you mean by morality? Is it an idea, a concept? Is morality some unrelated to love? Can one be moral through the cultivation of thought? Is morality the result of thought? Come on, sir, discuss with me. Is love the result of thought? Is love pleasure? You see, there is morality something that you cultivate by day after day and produce a marvelous moral entity? Is goodness, the flowering of goodness, is it the process of thought? Answer. And this thought, which we all worship, because we all think the intellectual person is the most extraordinary individual, to us thought is of the highest importance. Is it? And thought, obviously, is the response of memory. And memory is always the old. And so thought is always old. And thought can never be free, because it is rooted in the past, which is memory, experience, knowledge. And if out of that past, out of the field of thought, morality comes, is it moral or is it merely a convenience?